are very like a lot to take in, and they're kind of just like, you know, stories, and like people always say they're like mini movies and stuff, and I really wanted this one to just be like super simple and just simply like badass females, and like just I just wanted it to be a very like empowering video ideally, and I wanted people to watch it and be like, I can dance around in my brown underwear and feel hot and like play this song, and it's just that was my goal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
awesome.
sure. Thanks.
Yeah, okay. So another question that we came up with to ask you is like, what was like your intention when going into the studio record this album? Like what kind of music and vibe were you like wanting to create for your fans to listen to? Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I wanted to create kind of just like a something that takes them away. Like I wanted something that was very dreamy, something that kind of like you feel like it's like otherworldly almost. Like I think when I personally listen to my whole album, I feel like there's so many different like it's very dynamic. There's a lot going on. There's every song serves its own purpose, has its own messaging. So for me, I wanted it to just be like it's like an escape almost. And hopefully when it comes out, people feel that way. And I'm super super excited for it to come out. But yeah, when I was making it, I was like, let's just make something that feels like you can put it on with some headphones in and like go away, and like that's what music does for me personally, and it's my escape from the world, so I wanted to make something that hopefully could be other people's, because I know it's important to have an outlet like that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. What inspired you to call the album Life Support?
I was going through a really tough time. Like I was genuinely like really debilitatingly depressed, and I felt like it was the only thing that was giving me motivation to like get out of bed and actually like still live. And I was like, I just want to go, and like in the moment it was like a burden because I was like, I don't want to go to the studio right now. Like I just want to lay in bed and like not think about anything. And um it was like looking back, I'm so 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 grateful that I had to, and that I was like able to go to the studio and sit down with my writers and with my team and be able to be like, I someone said you sound sick. I know I do sound sick. I feel like I am sick. Sorry. And you know, I was kind of given this like, you know, you have to do this, and then I was like, ugh, I don't want to. And then when I would get there and I was able to sit down with my whole team and talk about everything that was going on in my head, like there were some days I went to the studio and I didn't even write a song. I just talked to them for hours and like cried and just ranted. And then I would come back the next day and they'd be like, hey, if you're comfortable, like, do you want to talk about what we talked about yesterday? Like, I feel like it could be really therapeutic. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I was able to channel my like pain or trauma or like just anything I was going through into my music. And I think that that like genuinely saved my life. And so for me, I wanted to call it life support because I feel like it served as that for me for like a long time.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing and
Mm.
super powerful that you're bringing that into your platform and like being super vocal. That's really awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Amazing. And I guess like segueing off of that, like, do you have any songs that are like super sentimental to you that like you're like I wrote this in like a weird time and a dark time and like this is like a song that I like absolutely love. I'm sure that's how you feel about your whole album, but like is there one like song that you really feel connected to?
I would probably say selfish or one. Well, selfish is out, so I can say selfish. But effortlessly is one that's not out yet. It's on my album, and it's very. I don't know. It's just like it's like selfish is really personal and really honest and vulnerable, but like so is effortlessly this other one, and it's just kind of about how like you take things for granted when you're not miserable with life. Like you just like you take literally wanting to get out of bed for granted. You take smiling without having to force it for granted. And like I say in the song, like I used to do those things so effortlessly, and like I'm hoping to get back to that place one day where I don't have to think about like putting a happy face on or something. And so um and then yeah, I mean selfish is another one that's really really personal to me and really special because it was the first song that I was really like comfortable with being vulnerable, and I was actually like wanting to be honest. And I felt like I was kind of like I'm very very close with my fans, and like very very close with them. And so for me, I felt like I was not lying to them, but I felt like I was putting out a false narrative for a while, where it was like I had my song Home with You, I had songs like Hurts Like Hell, like all of my like a song called Dead, like all of my singles were very much so like, you know, forget about your ex, like don't even entertain him, like just like that kind of narrative. And it was like this like baddie attitude, which is great, but I felt like it was not authentic because I would be singing these songs and then I would go home at night and like sob and I would be like I feel like I'm having this like dual like personality and I don't want my fans to think the only way you can go through a breakup is, you know, being the bad bitch who doesn't care. Like, you know, you have to also like go through it like a normal person and actually like feel your feelings, and it's okay to cry and it's okay to be emotional. And like Selfish was a very important song for me to put out because I felt like I was like, this is also part of the healing process. This is also part of what goes on. So it was just super important to me to get that song out. So both of those songs are really, really special.
Awesome. So, what challenges do you face as a female artist
I
going on?
mean, a lot for sure. Like I think there's still a lot of like there's a lot of not very equal behavior in the industry, I would say. And like I've seen a lot of it. Like there's definitely a lot of misogyny that goes on still, and I have definitely been a victim to it. I've seen it. I have been told that like I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm a girl, or like because I'm
Mm,
especially a young girl, and like I just think that that's unfair, obviously, and like I'm hoping that I can change that. And like I feel like there's so many amazing women in the industry right now, and I feel like I can hopefully be one of the artists that like help change that narrative. And I feel like there's so many incredible strong women right now that are making music successfully that can prove people wrong, and it's very, very important. And so I'm just like very, yeah, I'm hoping that that changes because there's a lot of like misogynistic behavior that goes on.
Yeah.
right. And I mean, like, when you were saying that you had to scrap your whole music video, like, I mean, it seems probably from like an outside perspective, like, oh, that's like nothing. But like, I mean, that's like a big step. And that's you probably having to like, you know, face all of these powerful, probably men and,
Yes.
you know, put your foot down. And I think that's, yeah, that's really
It
powerful.
was terrifying. It was like I had to literally sit and like stand up in a room full of such power that in a snap of their fingers could end my career. Like I had to be like,
Hmm.
I'm not comfortable. I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. And like, it's me at the end of the day. Like, I have to put my face and my name and my, like, this is me backing this. And if I don't feel good about it, I'm not doing it. So I just like made sure that was crystal clear. And it was definitely really intimidating for a minute. And people weren't so quick to be like, okay, like, they were like, no, like, we know best. And I had to be like, no, you don't. I know best. And I know what's good for me and what's good for my fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like your face, you know, like
Yeah,
it's
it's
you.
yours.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like going back to like your whole writing strategy, I guess, like do you like to come up with the lyrics first or the melody or like how do you go about that?
Every song's really different. Some songs I come in with a concept for, you know, lyrically, I have a concept already set. Some songs I have a melody that I kind of want to riff off of, and some songs we have a beat that we're just like, let's do this. So every song's super different, but mainly I would say we start with.
So cool. So, what did it feel like when you listened to this album for the first time all the way through?
The first time I listened to the album all the way through, I was with my best friend Banana, and we were in my bed, and we were making my track list. So we were like, because I we had to put the album in order. Like we had all the songs, but they weren't in order. And I remember we like played each song through, and then we would like put them in a folder of like where we felt like they transitioned into the next one. And yeah, I mean, it was like very like I remember we got to the outro, and like it ended, and we both looked at each other, and I was like, was that my album? And she was like, yeah. And we were like, what the hell? And it was so emotional. And like, we both started crying. And we were just like, I was like, I'm so proud of myself and like that I did this. And like, it was just a really like self fulfilling moment. And like, especially just it like, we didn't make my track list like in a big boardroom meeting and like, you know, like super serious. Like, it was literally just me and my best friend in my bed at like 2 o'clock
That's
in the morning.
that's so
Like, it was just awesome. And like, I'll never forget that. That was a really special moment.
Aw, that's so cute.
awesome.
So I know that you said that you were like going through like a rough time during this, like while making this album. Like, did you have any moments where you had like blocks and like what did you do,
Yeah.
you know, like push past those? Like, what did you and your team have to do for that?
Um, we had to be patient. I think it was something that had to be written out. Like, unfortunately, I couldn't. I'm not the kind of person that can just force my feelings aside and can be like, no, 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 I have stuff to do. So, like, don't. You have to, like, get that out of your head. Like, if I'm feeling my feelings, I feel them, and then, like, I have to let them kind of go away on their own. And I'm so lucky to have a team that I'm so, so, so super close with. And they've been with me. Like, I wrote my EP with two of the guys who are on my team now. And so they've been with me since I was like 15 years old. And like, I've
Yeah.
just grown a really like strong relationship with them. And just being able to like go in one day and not feel like pressured. Because a lot of time in the studio, you'll be like, they'll be like, we have to make a song today. Like, like, this is like, we have a job to do. It's a job. Like, we have a job to do. And it was really, really comforting knowing that I could go in and be like, guys, I can't. Like, I can't today. And, like, they were just like, okay, we don't have to. And they would shut their laptops and they'd be like, what's going on? And I'm like, literally, I would talk for 5 hours straight and, like, sob. And then, like I said, like, the next day we maybe would go in and one of them would be like, if you're not comfortable, totally, we don't have to. But you said, like, they would encourage me to channel it into music. And they would be like, you said so many really powerful things yesterday. And, like, you made so many amazing points that could help so many people. Like, if you're comfortable, then you should do it. And, like, they pushed me to be better and they pushed me to be comfortable, and like I am able to now talk about things that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to. So I'm definitely really grateful that I had an
Mhm.
amazing support system.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah, it was.
Do you have a favorite memory that happened while you were making this album?
Yeah, we made it was the night we made Baby and we finished it. And this is March of 2019. So we finished Baby and we were like, woo, like we have a fire song. Like we were so hype and we really felt like we had like killed it. And my manager, Oscar, was not there because he doesn't like sit in usually because it's, you don't want like someone like super serious sitting in the room because it throws off the vibe. So like he didn't sit there and we called him and we were like, yo, come to the studio right now. Like, we made a song that we think you're gonna fucking love. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but we were like, we think you're gonna really, really love this song. And so, like, get over here and we're gonna play it for you. And on his way over, I was like, guys, we have to make a fake song. Like, before he gets here, we have to make a song that's so bad and weird and just like it just like makes no sense. The song is called Photosynthetic Babies to give you context of like what we decided to do, and it's actually on my Instagram. If you look at my Instagram from like I think around March of last year, I like posted a video. It's black and white. You should totally look at it when we get off because it's genuinely so funny. We couldn't breathe. We were laughing so hard. Like it was the most ridiculous, stupid song ever. And then Oscar came and we were like, dude, and like my like songwriters and stuff are so convincing. They're like, dude, he came, we played it for him, and then he was like, okay, can I hear it again? And we were like, yeah, yeah, of course. And then we played it for him again. He was like, I'm not sure I
Yeah.
understand it. And we were like, ah, we're just kidding. And he was like, you guys are the worst. He was like, you guys like, you guys had like an episode and like you didn't, you all thought this was like some prolific piece of art. And then we played him Baby and he was like, okay, there we go, there we go.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah.
That's so
funny.
It was so funny.
Okay, I guess on like a more serious note, is there anything that you're doing with the current like state of the world to like cope and keep yourself and those around you like mentally healthy?
Um, just doing like like I said, like the mental health like workshop, the little books that I do are really really helpful in my opinion, and I think alone time is really beneficial. Like I try to take some time for myself every day and like write in this book and even just like take a bath and like chill and whatever. But I mean it's been tough. Obviously, like I've had really tough days, and I've been my advice that I've given to people is like let those days be tough. Like this is a very confusing time for all of us, and I believe that like none of us were prepared for this. None of us even know. We're all just like making it up as we go along. So for me, I'm like, we can't push aside those dark days, unfortunately. And I think that, in my opinion, it's sometimes unhealthy to like give yourself too much false positivity. Like, it's okay to literally wake up one morning and cry and be like, I feel weird and I don't understand what's going on and my life feels stagnant and everything feels wrong. And like, we're functioning in a world that we've never functioned in before. And so I definitely think that like it's important to allow yourself to feel the human emotions that come along with this confusing time. And I think that it helps sometimes to have a good cry and then be like, okay, I'm good. Like, let me call one of my friends and make sure that they're okay. And doing mental health checkups on people are really important. So just try not to be too tough on yourselves, I would say, and be patient with this very confusing time.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
So, do you have any advice for college students more specifically about staying true to themselves?
I mean, always, yeah. Like I would just say, like, don't conform for anybody, no matter what. Like, be who you are unapologetically, and like, if something feels good to you, as long as you're doing things with pure intentions, and if you have a good heart and you're not hurting anybody, then do your thing and like do things that make you feel good and happy, no matter what they might be. And in particular, to like everything going on, like try not to get too bummed out. I know that it's really tough. Like obviously, like for anyone, whether you're a freshman or you're a senior, like in college, it's a very confusing. My brother's a freshman and he's like doing just like Zoom calls from home, and he's like very like, this is not what I expected my um, first college experience to be, and he's super confused by it. And I've just been kind of trying to help him out and be like, well, you're not alone in this, and I think everyone is bummed and everyone is confused. But again, it's just about trying to not be too down on yourselves, and yeah, like everyone's health and safety is like the number one thing at the end of the day. So as
Yep.
long as you're healthy and like you can still have a roof over your head, I think that there's a lot to be happy about, and you're one of the lucky ones. So yeah, just try not to get too down.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a kind of fun question. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, do you want to venture out into any other areas in the industry? I know that you released something with Morphe.
Yeah, so I just released a makeup line with Morphe. I love makeup and I love like art of every kind. I definitely want to get more into the film industry though. I'm like a really big movie fan, TV show fan in general, like whatever. So I definitely want to start like possibly directing, acting, just being a part of it, and hopefully making making some cool stuff.
Yeah, so like
That's so
behind the
cool.
camera and in front of the camera too, type of
Yeah,
thing.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you tell us more about your launch with Morphe? Or is there anything else about it you wanted to share?
It was just a really fun process, and I've been getting a lot of love on it. So I'm really glad that people are liking it, and everyone who's gotten it has been like, "Oh my God, I love this this palette, and I love them." And a lot of the palettes like has names that are really personal to me, which is super cute. And so, yeah, I'm really happy that it's out there.
That's so special.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I guess we'll just end off with one more question.
Okay.
Um, and kind of a simple question, so you can put like take this wherever you'd like. But is there anything that you'd like to say to your supporters and your fans that have either been there with you since day one or new supporters and fans? Just anything that you'd like to say to them.
Yeah, I mean, I speak to them on a daily basis. Like they're my friends at the end of the day, and like I love them more than anything. And I would just say thank you, and like thank you guys for always being there for me. And I feel like we have a lot of like really beneficial talks, and they always say like, you saved my life, or like you give me like motivation or whatever, and they do the exact same for me. So the fact that like they feel how I feel about them towards me is like pretty crazy and really cool. And yeah, they just mean the world to me, and they see me for who I am, which means a lot. And they know that I love them. I don't even need to tell them.
That's amazing. Well, thank
That's
you so,
awesome.
so much for
Thank you guys.
Thank
it was
you. It was so
lovely.
nice talking to you.
Yeah, you too. And stay safe. And hopefully, I get to meet you guys in person one day. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
We can't
Nice
wait.
you.
meeting you. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, babies.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.